too.
Gentile.
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, all right.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your dad, and I'm here with some new friends. Introduce yourself.
I'm your new friend, Joey.
And Ben.
Ben.
Joey's like, you're my new friend. I'm like, oh yeah.
My name is Julia Zelg, and this is my wife, Eileen de Vries.
Aww.
We both have YouTube channels, and we often, very often, post videos together.
Yeah. And on Instagram and everything.
And we have Instagram and all that.
So you guys gotta go check out their video that we just filmed
Yeah,
with
we
them.
filmed it with them. It was
Yeah.
really
And,
good. It was really funny.
And it was honestly really hilarious. And now we're on here.
Yeah.
Hey!
So we're doing the other half of gay versus lesbian questions.
And also hit up their Instagrams.
Oh yeah, hit up all their
Thank
social media.
you.
Check them out. They have awesome content.
Thank you so much.
Alright, so we're gonna see how like gay guys and lesbians are different. We're gonna like talk about each other and how our
And also
relationships
how we're
different
the
from
same,
them
too.
and how we're the same. But I think it's really interesting. It's gonna be interesting because
Yeah,
I mean it's
Mhm.
a
'Cause we're
lesbian couple, a gay couple, and we're just I feel like we're so
Sorry.
different, but
Yeah.
also like kind of the same in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for
absolutely,
sure.
yeah.
All right. So the first question is, who's more monogamous? What do you guys think?
I think probably, in general, lesbians.
I agree.
Yeah, I do too.
Don't want to be offensive or anything.
No, I think we all know it on the show.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with not being monogamous.
Right,
If that's
exactly.
what you're into and the other partner's into, as long
Yeah.
as fair is fair and
I think people in general are more and more like getting into open relationships.
Yeah.
Or polyamorous.
Have you
It's
met a
more
lot of
mainstream.
lesbian open relationship people or what?
No, but we've met quite a lot of different when I was growing up it was like you're gay or straight or maybe bi. Now there's a whole continuum of sexuality
Yeah.
that people,
I heard they're really exploring it now. They're just
yeah.
Yeah, I think I know probably just one lesbian that is in
That's
an
like
open
open.
relationship. Yeah.
Do I know her? No, just kidding.
So curious.
Oh, Bella. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Bella. Okay, I met Bella.
Yeah, and we have a couple of friends that are non-binary, but they identify as very feminine, and are they monogamous? I thought they were open.
Wait, what is non-binary?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Non-binary means they are like
Don't ascribe to one specific
Yeah.
gender.
Gender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question is, how do gay guys meet versus how do lesbians meet?
I actually was like, if, as a lesbian, like, how would you meet a girl? Like, if you wanted, like, we
Yeah,
would go
that's-
to an app or we'd go to the gay bar.
Yeah.
In their video, they talked about how there's like no lesbian bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a
right,
lot of
yeah.
gay
So I was always
Yeah.
I'm actually curious because I actually meet more people out. Like we met out.
You do, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I do meet
Wow,
out.
that's really interesting. Well, I think
Maybe it's
that
because I
might
live
be-
right here.
Might
yeah.
be the location.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because in Ohio, where I'm
Yeah.
from, I'm in a small town, so everyone just knows each other from the app. But like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
He-
back home in Chicago, Chicago
then-
is a pretty big gay scene
Yeah.
too. But
but then in
Yeah.
LA, we meet everyone just walking around town.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. I've literally only ever met people online.
That's
Yeah.
like-
Like
That's what I
literally
mean.
everybody I've
Because you
been
have, there's no like lesbian bars, right?
Exactly.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
a few, but
yeah.
it's hard.
But now that there's social media and there's apps and everything, when I was younger, it was at bars or work. But it's
But
mostly.
how would you know if she's a lesbian?
Yeah, that was my
Well, I ask.
Yeah. You're me. That's me. I was like, are you gay?
I know you're my boss, but are you a big dyke or what? And
Oh my God.
dyke is an affectionate term, so.
Well, we can say it.
Yeah.
Other people can't. We can say it.
Okay, great. Okay. So, so like more just like within your social group, a lot. Oh, that's a good question too. Do you guys tend to date within your group, or do you go outside of it, your friendship group? I guess it's what it's.
Always outside of the friendship group, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, like when we have threesome? Like, is that what you're talking about?
No, but Joey would like to talk
Sorry,
about
Linda.
this, and I'm right there with him.
Yeah, wait, I was okay. Wait.
No, I was
That
like,
doesn't make
what do you mean? Like,
No, what I meant was, it's more the question, do we meet people in bars or like where do we meet
gotcha.
people, right? In the past, I've just met them, socially and through apps.
Yeah.
Now that there are apps, I couldn't imagine really meeting anybody any other way.
Where did you
You know?
guys meet?
Tinder.
Oh yeah, Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we're a success story if one measures success as.
And how was your first date? Like, what did you guys do? Like, how did you when you first started talking? And then we'll talk about our.
That's really interesting. Why don't you? I think you tell us interesting.
So basically, we were gonna go out for dinner, but Eileen has a problem with her knee.
I have a minuscule tear.
Oh.
That's going to be fixed. It's not fixed yet.
So she told me, so we could either cancel, but if you want, and if you're not like creeped out, you could come over to my place. And I was like, okay.
And I said to her, Julia.
And then they got married.
Exactly. Like a week later. I said to Julia, never do this. What I'm asking you to do, never do this. But this time is okay. Because everybody knows it's not real safe to do that. But we, interestingly, that since she's a woman and I'm a woman, she felt safe doing it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't pressure. I was like, my knees, really bothering me. Because at that point I had fallen in the tub and I'd re-hurt it. So it was really a problem.
Baby.
Yeah. So I even had a stick to use, like a crutch thing, like just for one side. But anyway, so so Julia came over and it was really beautiful. And we didn't sleep together the first night, but we almost did because I know you can ask.
That's really interesting.
I thought you were gonna say you did.
No, almost, but no.
Can we tell them what you said?
Yeah.
I think you should keep telling the truth.
No, Julia said to me, "Please don't seduce me."
Yeah, I said, okay, I'm coming over, but like, please don't seduce me.
The gays would be like, okay, like send nudes, and then come over.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I obviously wanted it.
Yeah, well, it was more like you were telling yourself.
But,
basically, you were saying, "Don't let me be seduced."
But I think it's not for like any moral reasons or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's more like I find it fun to like wait
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
It like makes it more
It
exciting.
makes it hotter, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And we had. We should preface this by saying we use WhatsApp in Europe. I don't think you guys use as much here.
So,
Yeah, not as much. Actually, I only do that with international friends usually.
Yeah. We communicated all the time. Once we started talking, it led to talking almost every day, and then to texting, I should say, via WhatsApp. And then it was like verbal messages, and then hot phone calls, so we had a real build-up. So I could see why you wouldn't want to sort of consummate the relationship the first night. And I was fine with that, and I wasn't pushing for it. But it was a very erotic meeting.
Yeah.
You could almost say it wasn't a hookup because we didn't have, we stayed clothed. And but it was really intimate and really beautiful.
Yeah.
And all we did was have a bottle of prosecco, and I ordered pizza. It was like
Wait, that sounds like the best ever.
Yeah. So how about you?
That
guys?
sounds like
Yeah. So how your first night like? Joey's like, I'm not sure I remember. No, I'm kidding.
Joey, okay, so we met at we met at a charity event in Beverly Hills, and then it was actually not even a gay event. And I thought he was straight.
Oh, really?
I thought he was straight.
And he thought I was straight. I was wearing a full-on suit, like, and then I don't
That's
know.
really cute. That's really.
I was probably wearing like something like this news.
I feel like this does not happen in the gay scene.
Yeah, right, exactly.
This is not like typical.
Yeah. So
That is
you
right.
met, and did you start talking, and then how did you figure out? How do you communicate whether you're gay or not to someone you're not sure?
I don't even remember.
Well, you were with a friend
I remember.
okay, I'm gonna be honest. You were with a friend that was really, he was pretty gay.
Right, yeah.
No,
I still didn't know he was
I
gay.
found out he was gay because he was like, let's all go to the Abbey after this.
Oh,
and I'm like,
right.
I was like, how did I know?
I was with my old roommate, which was this like blonde girl, and then they probably thought I was like dating her. So
Yeah, probably thought you were a couple.
I showed up with her and like did the card with her. We looked like a couple. And then I met him, and then he was with some guy that had a really flashy outfit on, and I didn't really think he was gay because LA is kind of like there could be straight guys that kind of dress like that.
Right. Yeah, that's really sweet. So that was the first that you guys met, and how did you communicate that each of you maybe wished to see the other?
Well, we ended up drinking.
And then I was drinking. I was actually the only one drinking.
What's this band? Two-handed drinks.
I was sober when I met him.
It was an open
really
bar
nervous.
and he didn't even have a drink.
I was sober when I met him. I was really nervous. And then we got drunk. We were at the Abbey, and then I just remember.
Oh wait, I forgot the part where you were super awkward. He was so awkward.
Was you really?
We were both, but we were like sitting there, and I was like, it was like He wasn't like but he's like shy at first, and then he like.
Yeah, I can see.
Well, when we both see each other, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't know. Like
I was just nervous.
Oh, so cute! You two are adorable.
Yeah, you really are very cute.
We initiated it
and
by
then
we were drinking at the Abbey, and then I just grabbed you and made out with you.
Oh, nice! Oh, that's really nice.
And then after we didn't
on the
after.
dance floor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet. Did you know
in
that?
front of his, I invited him back to my house, and then I was like in a full-on suit. It was so hard to get off.
And I was
that's so cute.
But then what were you wearing? Or just
I was like wearing nice clothes, I remember, but it wasn't like a suit and a tie. It was just like a nice t-shirt and like some nice pants.
Oh.
It was the first day we met. That's what I remember.
Oh,
That's my
wow.
roommate.
So I just had like a normal
so
shirt and like
nice.
a.
Seriously?
I thought he was straight, and he like
I thought
he was actually. I don't know
Did
why.
you think that Ben was with the woman?
Oh, I didn't know if they were together, but I thought he was straight. And then you were like, I do real estate, and I was like, oh, like he has his shit together, and I'm just a YouTuber that doesn't know anything.
I'm curious. This would never stop me if I thought that if I were you and I saw Ben, I was like, I don't know if he's gay or not. I'd still flirt my face off.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
So sorry.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't for sure. I think everyone's a little bi.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Though,
Yeah, I can see you doing that.
Well,
I can see Ben doing that too.
I still love it with you.
You better not flirt with
No,
anyone.
Yeah, I don't think age means anything. Like you could just fall in love. Like you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
For sure. And there are people that are young, they're very mature, and there are
Right,
people
yeah.
that are older and they're very immature.
Yeah.
So you can't judge people based on
Yeah.
just on their age.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Eileen and I were so similar in so many ways,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we get along so well, and we love each other so much. So I don't see why we wouldn't be together just because of our age difference.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally, and I could tell you guys really get along well too. That you really like each other, and that's really, it's a big part of being together, isn't it? Just like enjoying the other person's company.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm a lot older, and I've had several relationships, some with men in the beginning when I was younger, and then I was like, I'm so gay, so I came out, and but I've never, and this is no slight to my other partners, it was beautiful when I was with them, but I've never connected so well with somebody as I do with you in all the important ways. And,
That's awesome.
And ironically, she's so much younger, but it's just like whatever, love really is love.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with
I
that.
love them. They're so
the
cute. Yeah.
Oh, you two are cute.
This is such a gay video.
What if we just put lesbian couple and gay couple kiss for time?
Are gays more physical or
lesbian.
mental, or lesbians more physically like into each other or mentally into each other? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this Ariel before.
Well, I just remember she was talking about girls can orgasm without like touching themselves. Did you guys
Is
know
that-
that?
What do you mean?
I know that.
Wait, we're in the video. You guys have to watch
She's
it.
not
That
always
is
right.
crazy.
Ariel, we love you, but you're wrong, girl. You in trouble, girl.
She did say that.
She did.
Yeah.
She was saying like if one girl goes down another girl, she could get off just by pleasuring the other girl.
I've heard people saying that.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Well, she said not all lesbians, but like some.
No,
but she's
I
saying,
think it's just like a unicorn rareness,
Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
she
think
was
they're
saying that
evil,
she was saying gays. No one's ever like gays can't do that. 'Cause gays are more physical than mental, and that was my answer.
Oh. Wow, interesting. I mean, I've heard people saying that, and I felt that myself on, like, in a way that, like, one could almost orgasm,
Yeah,
like,
right, yeah.
while
Oh, yeah,
going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've said that. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm blushing,
Yeah.
but like.
Tell us more, darling. Just kidding. Perhaps a demonstration. I'm kidding.
But I feel like now I couldn't actually orgasm for real,
Yeah.
like
Right.
just by doing that. But it feels like so good, like you could almost.
Right.
Yeah.
But I never actually.
Well, and this
Yeah.
wouldn't be anything exclusive to women. I mean, I'm
Well,
sure.
no, but for me, like I don't, nothing like I could never be close to coming by just like going
right,
down.
Yeah, I do know what you're describing though. Like to pleasure Julia and to give her pleasure and lead her to orgasm is a really great feeling, but it doesn't become climaxable for me.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, I'm not one of those people that can do two things at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to, like, for example, and I'm going to be direct.
I did two things at
That
once.
is. Well, I was thinking like of times where I'll say be going down on Julia, and if I touch myself, like it's one or the other with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I like start getting off, I'm sort of like bye Julia,
Oh,
but
Yeah, that's
that
how
doesn't
I am.
happen because I wouldn't, I wouldn't leave you hanging. You know?
I'm exactly like that too. I hate 69.
Yeah, I know.
I can't focus.
Like I know. I'm always like I either blow it by going first or but that's really
Well,
not
the whole
true.
idea of it's always good, and then when you're doing it, it's like a lot of like.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like there's this thing in culture, tell me what you guys think, and Julie, you tell me too. This idea of like orgasming together is such a rare thing, really.
We just did that like 2 days ago.
We did.
Oh.
Did you?
And everyone's like, you.
And we didn't even like, yeah, we didn't even know.
No, who was
Yeah.
getting
Well, he didn't know. He's like, you came? And I was like, yeah, the second you did.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Okay, cool.
It's rare though.
Yeah. So, I forgot what I was saying now.
It doesn't happen all the time, but then it just randomly.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time, well, never mind, I don't want to talk about that, but yeah.
Who's represented more often in pop culture / social media?
It's a very many ways to go with that, I think.
I feel like
There
it's
is like the L word. There's a lot of lesbian
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, do you
I
ever
feel
see
like
Wild Things?
Yeah,
Back in
I
the day?
did.
You
Yeah,
did back in the
directed
day?
by Kevin Bacon
Yeah.
with what's her face and
And then,
Neff
do you remember when the girls got
In the
together? And
pool, I
I feel
saw
like that was
10
an older
times.
movie, and that was
Yeah.
like lesbians was like it was a hot thing almost.
Yeah,
back in the day.
right.
But that would
watched
never
that.
happen with
Oh,
guys. You
gotta
know what
see
I
it.
mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
See, that's really interesting to me because
Yeah.
casual intimacy, and that's got a sexual energy about it because they were kissing in the pool and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that represented. And
Yeah,
I think
and that's
that's
normal
like a
for
reverse
mainstream movie.
misogyny.
That's true.
There's
Yeah.
two girls making out in this pool, and they're like, it's a really mainstream movie. It's a huge movie.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
it's
a
a
huge
blockbuster
movie.
hit.
Yeah,
And it was
exactly.
and that
And
would
that was
never
the
happen.
hottest
Yeah.
part of the movie, really.
Yeah.
I mean, people watched it for that, not
Yeah,
just.
and if there was two
Leslie
guys kissing in there,
Hudson.
there would be one genre for that.
Yeah,
and
and
no
it
one
would
would
be
see
rated
that.
X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
that's really true, and I think that's a terrible pressure on you guys, and it's a kind of reverse misogyny. You know what I mean? Like particularly targeted at gay men because, well, and also porn. When you look at porn, one of the biggest categories is women together.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like lesbians might appear more in movies and stuff like that, but it's not like they're being represented
Right,
Yeah, that's
fairly.
true, yeah.
It's for the sake of
Titillation.
just for the pleasure of
Yeah.
straight men.
Yeah.
Right.
So they are
They have more of an audience. Or
they
Yeah.
often are represented, but just as like
a sexual object, which isn't good.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
good.
yeah, exactly. But often I find that when there's like, for example, a brand that wants to be LGBT friendly and they want to do a commercial
It's
with a
always
gay
gay men,
couple, it's
yeah.
usually gay men.
Yeah, right, that's true.
So
too,
when it's
yeah.
like a positive thing about inclusion and talking about the community, it's usually always featuring gay men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when
that's
it's like,
true.
oh, we want to have a sexy scene or you know,
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was
that's
thinking
that's
too,
a
though.
really
Yeah.
interesting thing, yeah.
which is definitely, something to do with misogyny.
Yeah, it's exploitive, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And homophobia, I mean, it's all like for
Yeah.
the pleasure of straight men.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's okay, but it's all just sexualized, and that's why they think it's okay.
Yeah,
right,
That's what's wrong
exactly,
with
yeah.
it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then as soon as there's a lesbian couple, there is no like conventionally pretty. They're like, oh, gross. But if it's
Yeah.
like two like conventionally
Like,
pretty
yeah.
Yeah.
lesbians,
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh, okay, it's sexy.
And I sometimes
things
feel
are
like if we're more
changing.
straight acting, like if we're like, it's
Yeah.
like, that's like fine, but if
Yeah,
there's like
right.
really, really gay couple, like,
Yeah,
super
right.
gay, like flamboyant,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like
and
what's-
then that's like so different. It's almost it's like they'll get treated different.
Yeah, Sean Hayes. What's that show that he was on with Deborah Messing and there was a character named Karen that drank martinis. They played a gay couple or something, and the two female friends. Anyway, he played this like very, very like
Flamboyant.
mainstream idea of gay male, very
Yeah.
flamboyant.
Oh, like,
you
yeah,
know?
all the,
and I
like-
found it like offensive, not that a man shouldn't be like that, but because that was the best they could do.
Yeah,
was
they're just
toss
putting that
around a
stereotype.
stereotype.
Right?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
used
yeah.
every little stereotype.
Yeah, which I mean, the other character wasn't like that, but Will and Grace.
Oh, Will
That's
and
what it was.
Grace. Yeah, yeah.
Do Do you know who I mean? Sean Hayes. He plays the secondary male character in it.
Yeah.
It's like 2 male and then 2 female, like 2 fag hags, and that's an okay expression. I mean, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you guys, I hope, know that too. Actually, you might want to edit that.
No, yeah.
Wait, fag? What do you mean?
Is it not?
What is it?
It's not okay to say?
I think it's okay.
I think it's okay.
It's really an okay term, but I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of gay guys that watch this anyways.
Yeah, okay. Okay, boys.
My straight friend in
They know
Chicago
they're fag
puts
hags.
her Instagram on her like bio says fag.
Oh, seriously? So, okay.
Because she just hangs out with all these gay guys.
Yeah. And it's a thing, really, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody said to us recently they were a fag hag. Who was it? Somebody in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Jen? No, not Jen. And it wasn't Laura.
No, Laura is gay herself.
Yeah, well, she's queer. Yeah. Anyway, don't remember.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Let's do the next question.
Okay.
Wait, what is that? How stereotypical are both of us?
Oh yeah, how stereotypical are both of us? That's what. Remember something about stereotype. What was I saying with that?
More likely to be like the stereotype. Like,
yeah. Oh, I also did want to talk about like growing up. Like what kind of hatred did you guys get? What kind of hatred did we get? And how hard was it growing up as a lesbian or a gay guy?
Yeah. And do families accept gay daughters more readily than gay sons? I mean, who knows? Oh, I think that's an interesting question, though, related to what
I think you should start with how when you grew up, like, was it hard being a lesbian, and when did you come out, and was it hard to...
I came out in the mid-'80s, so I'm a lot older than these kids. Although I think they're more mature than me. But when I came out, it was just perfectly... I'm going to start that over. When I came out, it was perfectly fine for me with my family. So, and I never had... Like, I was a real tomboy when I was younger. And
Where'd you grow up again?
In New Jersey.
At that time, okay.
Yeah, so I was...
Were you, like, scared to come out, or were you like, they're going to be fine?
I actually didn't come out till I was, like, 24. I think I was 24. And, I've done a lot of things later in life. I don't know why, but it's sort of like I come to things later. But...
What is your definition of coming out? Like, you just didn't tell your parents? Or like...
No, I mean, that's a really good question, because coming out can mean different things to different people, and also depending on their family constellation.
Some people could have this whole gay life and then just not tell their parents, and they're pretty much out, but they just never told their parents.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good question. So, when I came out, I was like, I asked a friend, well, I don't want to go into my whole backstory, so knock that off, but it wasn't hard. You might think, well, in the mid-'80s, God, there's nobody gay around, but in New York, I moved to New York, and it was just so cool and open and wonderful. Yeah. And it was kind of an extension of who I was anyway, like in terms of, it was kind of like I just found out about my sexuality. When it came time to sharing it with my family, my father asked me, he said, listen, if you are gay, it's fine. I'm very modern, and, so, and my family's always been like that. So I had a really easy time of it, even though it was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I had an easy time coming out because my family is very, very open-minded.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But because I grew up in Brazil, I suffer a bit from homophobia.
Yeah, my friend's from Brazil. He has this, remember Brian's boyfriend?
Oh,
he's from Brazil.
Yeah.
He has the same thing.
He's a
soccer
famous soccer player. And he's still in the closet right now.
Really?
Yeah, he came out.
Oh wow!
And he's dating this guy who's in the closet. He's afraid to go to the mall with him.
Oh
wow!
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Literally, I remember walking around with my girlfriend at the time when I lived in Brazil, and people would shout things at us
like you'd be holding hands and.
Was it mostly guys or girls, or who was the type of people giving you that?
A mix.
Just a mix.
Yeah, he said the same thing. Like, he went to the mall and he was like, I had to walk 5 feet behind him and just pretend like I didn't know him, because his soccer friends and stuff would always be around, and he didn't want them to know.
Yeah, but then he brought him to the Grove, and he was because he came to LA for a game or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He wouldn't even walk. He had to walk.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
That's hard. In
but
America,
he was saying,
and that's now. That's right now.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
really scary.
But that's in Brazil, right?
Yeah,
but he's from Brazil and came here. Yeah, he has that mindset. I don't know.
Yeah, wow.
And what's funny too? Men can't be affectionate in public. Right away, you're thought to be gay. Whereas Julia and I, sometimes people are like, "Are you the mother or grandmother?" And I'm like, "Fuck you." But but women can get away with. If we weren't a couple, I mean, it would be, we could be holding hands, we could be crossed arms. You guys can't express, you can, of course, but I mean, it's it just really the culture is
it's
so
more
mean.
of a like it's like it's not as
as
more of a whoa.
as soon as you touch another man, people are already like, oh, they're probably gay.
It's more of a wow factor. I feel like you get the double take.
Yeah.
So how was coming out for you? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, so coming out for me was not too bad because my family is very, very open-minded, but I did like suffer a bit in Brazil because when I have a girlfriend, we would go out and people would shout like abuse at us and
what would they say?
Just shout like dykes or like.
Are there like any gay clubs? Like even gay clubs?
Yeah, I think there are. There is a nice gay community there, but there's also a lot of homophobia because it's a very, very Christian country. And not all Christian people are homophobic, but a lot of them are. So I remember like once I even had to get off the bus because I was there with my girlfriend and nobody did anything to help us and
they kicked you off the bus.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So it can be very rough.
How long ago was that? Like
that was about 8 years ago. So
they kicked you off the bus. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's like,
it will be about 7 years ago.
Or 7 years. No, 7 years ago.
I mean, for what it's worth, but
Geez. It's crazy, and it's much worse for gay men, I think.
Oh, sure,
Because it's a very
some like really scared thing. Like he's from Brazil. There must be something over there with the guy that's even worse.
Yeah, it's very like
it's machismo.
Macho. Macho culture, and which is like basically toxic masculinity. And there's like a lot of gay people have been killed just for being gay.
In fact, there are more deaths in Brazil.
I think
gay
it's
people. Didn't you?
The country with the most LGBT people that get killed for being LGBT, or one of the countries with the highest rate, something like that. It's really bad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of people there. It's a very big country, but still.
Is it legal there though? Like everything is legal?
Yeah, well, gay marriage is
That's
legal.
That's a good question. Yeah.
That's so weird that it's legal and it's.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, it's legal.
Wow.
So it's like there are two sides.
That's
so weird.
Because there's like a huge gay pride. There's like a very big gay community, and there are clubs and everything. Gay marriage is accepted, but. You might be like getting out of the club and someone might kill you because you're gay.
Jesus.
That's like insane.
It's crazy,
That's so scary.
And it's a very sexy culture too, So,
I was just about to say everyone's really hot over
I know. And trust me, they are. And I just think that I don't know, toxic masculinity again, and it's a shame, but I do believe positively that culture does move forward, and hopefully, people will stop being harmed by that kind of fear, because it's fear-based violence.
So how was your experience coming out?
Yes.
Dude, I didn't even come out until after high school.
He has the funniest story.
Tell the story.
Wait, did you come out?
Wait, tell the one.
I was 17, so last year of high school.
Last year. Oh, okay, yeah. So I didn't come out till after.
Wait, tell them the story about when there was a guy downstairs and you were like, Dad, don't come down here, it's a girl.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was that.
Oh, really? Oh my
came
god!
down
Oh my
and he was trying to get in the basement bedroom.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Don't come in! Don't turn on the lights. There's a girl in here." And if he turned on those lights,
and the guy was under the covers, and he's like, "There's a girl."
We were full on like it would have been.
Full on.
That would have been the worst way to come out.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well,
but that's so interesting that you thought to lie and that you had to lie.
I was like, Dad, and then he didn't care. He was just like, "Oh, good job, son."
Oh god.
He didn't really say it, but I could see him being like, he was not mad.
Could you imagine the guy? Can you imagine the guy?
Oh my god.
And he's like, "Oh, it's a girl."
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder.
Like,
so weird. I wonder if he knew the whole time. Like,
maybe.
Oh, your dad? Your dad?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wonder actually.
So how did you form?
So I have two older brothers. In high school, I felt like I had to be someone, like I was very masculine actually. Like cause I had two older brothers. My dad was like almost a professional hockey player. It was very like
what kind of player?
Almost a professional hockey player. He was very into sports.
Oh,
he's from Minnesota. Yeah. He was into sports. He's very man's man.
Yeah, right.
We wanted to like man's man.
I'm sure.
So funny.
But so it was really hard for me to come out. I actually said I would rather die than come out. I was like, oh my god.
Really?
But the thing is, my mom has a gay brother. I just don't know what it was, but I cared so much about my brother's opinion and my dad's opinion. I knew my mom's brother.
So you knew there
was gay.
Yeah.
And he comes to the Thanksgiving dinners, and he has his husband that he comes with all the time. Wow. So it's actually like really weird that I had that mindset, but I just was thinking it was so hard.
Well, you knew your dad, of course. You knew who he was, and then having two brothers too who weren't gay.
Two older brothers. So it was kind of like
brothers, right? Yeah. Yeah, I could see how that would be.
It was just weird for me, even though my mom did have like her brother, her best friend is gay, and she had he had his like husband over all.
So how did you eventually?
And then it was so, it was hard. Like I didn't do it. Like what happened? I had a really weird story. Well,
he needs to save that story for his YouTube channel.
Okay, no, save it for your.
It's a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely save it. That's really important. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. But they found out and it was all good.
And it was all oh my god, yeah. Okay, so when I did come out, it was actually all like they were like I don't care at all.
Good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's really good. Yeah.
My dad actually in the car, I don't know if this was like he's like I don't care if you're gay. He's like or if you're bi or if you don't even know, like he's like I remember questioning it when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
really
powerful.
He's like I didn't know, and he was like it's okay to like I think maybe he was saying like oh you're probably just questioning it though, which is kind of bad. He was like he's saying he had those thoughts. Maybe he didn't believe. I came out as bi first actually.
I was gonna ask you that. So
me too.
So did I.
I think we all did.
Yeah, I think we all. Which is fascinating.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I came out as bi, so I was like yeah I like girls and guys because I thought like that would be easier.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're ourselves, we have to accept ourselves. And that's sometimes the first step because it's like sort of finding out you're a Martian kind of, if you get my point.
The first time I realized it, and I was like, oh my god, this is, I can't tell anybody.
And it's almost like this huge lie because I was dating so many girls but I actually really liked them and like them physically, but we were hanging out and like I dated a lot of girls, but it was all like almost a cover. I felt like.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
wow.
But we still had so much fun, and like back then in high school, we were all just trying to have fun anyway. So it's
Isn't it really like in the end a small thing? Well, you
and it's such a small
boys too, you know. And you enjoyed the girls, and that wasn't going to be your thing. But when you think about it, it's so non-momentous. Yet the culture makes it so momentous.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to be, other than straight.
Yeah.
And it's funny because once you tell them, like I told my parents, and then they like it's such a minimal thing for them because it's like. It's more on you. It's all in your head. All this pressure's on you. And then she's like, all right, well, I gotta go to the grocery store. And then your life moves on. And it's just it's not. It's just like,
exactly. Well, I gotta go now. Gotta pick up some popcorn.
I don't know. It's not like this huge thing. I mean, for some people it is,
Yeah.
Just life moves on after you say it. It's just like okay, it's like all that for. It was like all that for like nothing. It's like your whole life is building up to it. And it's just like, and then to have like such a, that's a good reaction, but it's just like it feels like
I
cared
I
so
want
much
to hear
for
your
nothing.
answer, Joey, too. Yeah. So tell us about you, Joey.
Well, I feel like it was a really big deal. I feel like it was like you make it sound like easier just because you were like, oh, I had like a gay uncle, even though it was like hard for you. But for me, like I was in a really small town, and like there was just like one gay kid in my school, and everyone was like he was just like. He wasn't openly gay, but everyone could just tell, and I tried my hardest to make it not obvious. And at lunch every day, people would like throw food at him, and I was like so scared to like get with sad.
That's really awful.
Oh, that's so sad.
I mean, we're friends now. But I don't know. I was just like shy and I was scared, and I never did. But I just told my close friends, and then my family was like really religious, so it was kind of like weird for them at first. But like my mom was just like, I just want you to come to heaven with us, but she didn't say I was going to hell.
Yeah, well that's something.
Yeah, but she like she didn't take it bad. She was just like concerned and like she wasn't expecting it, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe disappointed in your orientation, or was that not?
I mean, like a little bit, but I think like I like just made her. I'm like, this is just me. You have to accept it. I like kind of was like, it took me like forever to get to this point to tell you, so it's gonna take you time. Too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now she's completely fine with him. I'm like, tell my dad for me.
Oh, really?
And then my dad texted me while I was at work. He's like, we need to talk when you get home. And I was like so scared to talk to him, and then I just like went straight to my room and I never talked to him. And like we've like had like little conversations, but we haven't like really like talked about it. My brother knows, and it's all good.
Oh, cool. That's
But
great.
it's like an unspoken thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like but like also like they'll FaceTime with like Ben, like everyone knows
his mom. He FaceTimes his mom every day now.
Oh,
like,
that's really sweet. That's
but like
adorable.
my dad will be there.
And his
like,
mom.
He's met my brother on FaceTime too. Like they all know who he is and stuff. But it's just like
sometimes it doesn't.
I almost feel like me and my
words.
dad never really talk about that either. But it's a known thing. But it's just like weird. I don't talk about like my. Like hey, like my relationships with like hooking like I don't know. Like,
just
it's just a completely different conversation that I would have with like a gay friend or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talking about sex with your family.
Not sex.
Right.
No, that's weird. But like I meant just like even anything into that sort. Like we went to dinner. Like it was something that's just like I don't know. It's weird. It's just I don't know what it is. I mean, it's weird. You wouldn't either, would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't tell my mom anything.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, my mom actually does. I did talk to her on the phone about it. She was like, "Oh, are you dating anyone?" Like, yeah, I did say I am with Joey and everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, my mom's easier now that I'm out. Like, I could actually talk to my mom.
I feel like moms are usually easier.
Yeah. And they could probably educate other parents. You know, I think it works like that. You know, that it's sort of pay it forward kind of thing.
Because my mom, all of her friends like are her friends from church and stuff. Well, she's not like that religious, but a lot of people she talks to are people that she like sees at church every Sunday and stuff. Yeah. And then like she used to be so scared to like tell them I live in LA and I live this life. Yeah. And then she would always be like, "Oh, he just does like video editing for like." Like she doesn't say I'm like a gay YouTuber, but now she's like more open about everything.
Yeah. Cool.
It just like took time, you know.
Yeah. Like, are we different? Are we more different than we're similar?
Right.
You know, what do you guys think? I mean, what do you think?
I actually want people to comment too and like see what you and tell us what you guys think.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like in conclusion, like we're all like pretty much the same. Like we're all just like people who like want to be accepted and like.
And I feel like every situation is like every person.
Yeah, every
different.
situation is different too. So obviously we're gonna have like things that are different, but at the end of the day, we all kind of like want the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's, like, acceptance
absolutely.
and love.
And we are all part of the same community.
Yeah, which is beautiful.
I think we should be more united, and everyone.
We should, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about Ariella. She always like brings all the gays under her wing, and she's like, "We're gonna film something." She teaches us about like the lesbian community and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. She's taught me a lot about trans. People,
like
and not that I didn't know, but sometimes to hear it spoken about is
you know what, I didn't know about a lot of that either, like growing up, you know?
Yeah, me neither.
And that's like the cool thing about YouTube is like that's where I learned a lot of it. That's like what helped me come out back in the day was YouTube.
Really?
So,
Seriously?
I watched a lot of
that's
gay
lovely.
YouTubers back in the day.
Oh, that's really great.
It's like cool to get to like educate people on that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing in social media that it can be a real force for, for connection.
Understand, like just understanding other people's lives all over the world, you know?
Yeah.
All
right.
And in Brazil.
Well, subscribe to them and check out their video.
We love
this actually could be the thumbnail right here too, maybe.